My financial freedom was cooking drugs in the kitchen.
So how did that shape you to get into food?
When I decided that I wanted to do something different with my life, I didn't know where to start. Looking for a job, it was very difficult.
Yeah.
So the kitchen has always been a common thread. And when I came home from prison, I thought maybe if I just stay out of the kitchen, I'll be okay, right? Because my association with the kitchen was drugs for the most part. And didn't know that the kitchen would be my way out. Didn't know that the kitchen would actually save my life.
This is Raquel Graham, and you are listening to Entrepreneuring. And I am here with Chef Keith Corbin of Alta Adams. Like I said, if you have not been, you are truly missing out. Welcome, Keith. Chef.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm thrilled that you are here. So let's jump right in.
Uh-oh.
So because there's never enough time. And I am such a fan, and I love your story, and I know that it will be so great for our listeners. So tell me where you're from.
I'm from Watts.
You're from Watts?
Born and raised.
Yes.
Watts, Jordan Housing Projects. Went to Markham Middle School, 102nd Street, which they now call Florence Joyner. Graduated from Jordan High.
All right.
So I am a true LA native.
Great. So how do we end up into the food industry? And
I have a book.
Yeah?
I have a book explaining that.
What's the book? Tell us.
Because we that's a long journey. The book is California Soul, an American epic of cooking and survival. And the reason I plugged that because the story
we want
there,
you to plug it. Yeah.
And I really wrote that story, one, just to let the audience know my background, where I come from, and how I got to where I'm at. But it was more so because
give us the bullet points, the highlights.
Oh, grew up in the projects.
Yep.
Participated, parents on drugs.
Oh, okay.
Participated in street culture. The
All
streets
right.
raised me.
All right.
Survived juvenile halls until I was an adult. But wound up going to prison at 22.
Okay.
Spent 10 out of 11 years. Came home and decided to do something different with my life.
So how did that shape you to get into food? Like, give me the leap.
Well, food has, the kitchen has always been this common denominator in my life. So whether, spending time with my granny in the kitchen, where you felt loved, because that's where she spent most of her time, in the kitchen cooking, feeding kids and grandkids in the community.
Did she teach you how to cook?
Not necessarily. I was too young. My grandmother passed when I was 16.
Okay.
And so it was more so of witnessing her enjoyment and feeding people is what I took. And then in prison, 7 out of the 10 years I spent in prison was in the kitchen. But prior
was
to
that
prison,
by choice or?
Yeah, but prior to prison, my financial freedom was cooking drugs in the kitchen. And so the kitchen has always been a common thread. And when I came home from prison, I thought maybe if I just stay out of the kitchen, I'll be okay, right? Because my association with the kitchen was drugs for the most part. And didn't know that the kitchen would be my way out. Didn't know that the kitchen would actually save my life.
So when I listen to stories from entrepreneurs, and I have to push back a little bit, or I can tell by the way you tell this story, it is, I don't know, do you understand like what you just said around the fact that all the different things in your life that happen in the kitchen are unbelievable, especially the drug part in the kitchen, and how life is so fascinating that it can be, you never know the skills that you have or what path in life can contribute to your success. So I always tell this story when I'm speaking or on a panel, and this is the perfect example of it. When you become an entrepreneur, every single skill, every single thing you've ever done in your life, you will somehow utilize in entrepreneurship. It could be putting a table together. It could be you had to paint for your dad. It could be whatever it is, because entrepreneurs, we have 97,000 jobs.
Well, for me, coming from a community like Watts and coming out of the projects where majority of my friends and family had either a single parent home or somebody who was on drugs, we were raising each other, right?
Right.
And so you're an entrepreneur from the moment you walk outside. We called it hustling.
Right.
Right? When you go outside to hustle, right? And whatever that hustle for you looked like, even way before the drug selling, right? Whether you were pitching coins,
right?
Whether you was cutting lawns, right? Whether you set up a lemonade stand, right? Like, we were trying to feed ourselves. We were taking care of ourselves. So entrepreneurship is in our blood. It's not because I've got to open a restaurant. I've been an entrepreneur my entire life.
That is a fantastic,
like, my entire life. The moment I wake up,
that's right,
and go outside to find a way to feed myself or feed my family without employment, hustling is what we call it. That's entrepreneurship.
Right.
Yeah.
And now we call it a little bit, it's a little bit neater, bootstrapping, or whatever you want to call it.
I still call it hustling.
That's right, because it is.
Yeah, that's it.
And especially for Black entrepreneurs that don't have the access to capital, our creativity and allows us to be able to get as far as we do, and that creativity comes from struggle, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
Where you have to be creative on how you gonna rub those two nickels together.
Absolutely.
So we come home.
Yes.
And now, how do we get to, what kind of work do we do when we come home? What is that transition like?
I come home from prison. I want to do something different. There's catalysts that led to that frame of mind. That's a bigger story. But when I decided that I wanted to do something different with my life, I didn't know where to start, right? Especially coming out of the street hustle, right? This side of life, I didn't know where to start. I just figured, maybe if I just get a job. Okay,
which to be fair, is even hard to do, because now you have a, right? That's a whole nother story.
Whole nother thing, right? So now I'm taking a harder pathway.
That's right.
Because if I stick to the hustle and entrepreneurship, I have a little more, it's a little more, I don't want to say freedom, but a little more of a path that I know.
Right.
Looking for a job, it was very difficult.
Yeah.
But I wound up getting a job in the oil refinery. And I worked my butt off. I put the same effort in that I did, when I was on my own. Got an opportunity for a promotion. That promotion required me to drive company cars. Now, oil refinery, construction jobs, it's a place when you come home from prison, you land. It's labor jobs, right?
Okay.
And so you land there. And so there was no background check. But for some reason, they just started implementing background checks this year. But I was already in. And so it's not retroactive.
Wait a minute. They had just started doing it that year? That year.
For the oil refinery. But I was already in. So it's like you slide in.
Right, yeah.
And then now they announced that they're doing background checks. And so if you have a record, you can no longer work here. But I'm retroactive. It doesn't apply to me.
So you're grandfathered in.
But now I get a promotion. That promotion
requires the background check.
For the promotion. And so I could have turned down a promotion, but I didn't understand how that affect me if I'm grandfathered in.
Right.
And so when they ran my background for my license to be able to drive company cars, my background came back, they marched me off the premises.
Oh my gosh.
Negating the fact that I was such a stellar worker that you even wanted to promote me.
That's right.
They just fired me.
Right.
And so I spent like 2 weeks, just deciding whether, getting a job or the street,
going back.
Which one, you know what I mean? But my mother did call me and was like, "Hey, boy, you need to get down here to Watts. They just they're opening a restaurant in our community, and they're hiring on the spot." And so I was in Long Beach.
Do you remember what restaurant that was?
LocoL chef Choi, LA Kid, and Daniel Patterson partnered up to bring opportunity to the community.
Great.
The funny thing about it is that building was mine before I went to prison.
What do you mean that building?
That's where I sold.
Oh.
I hustled out of, you know what I mean? Like, I wound up going to prison from that building to come home, and that building is where I get my opportunity back in my community.
My goodness, the
that
way
led to this path.
God, the universe,
Absolutely.
your story is
Absolutely.
he had his hand on your shoulder. You had no choice.
No choice.
No choice.
No choice. I had no choice whatsoever.
All of that is not coincidence.
No, it's
we
not.
know this, right? Okay.
And
I mean, I literally, it's rare to do this. I have chills. I have chills.
yeah. And so
So now you're at LocoL.
I get a job at LocoL.
Yeah.
They offer me a kitchen job at, let's say, $15 an hour. I'm at home like, I just had a promotion where I was supposed to get like $10,000 a month. This is for like,
Right.
it's not sustainable with 2 kids. Like,
That's right.
it's not gonna work. And so like 2 days later, I got another call from the company and say, hey, we've learned a lot about the dynamic of our hiring, and we've learned that you're very influential in the community. And being that we're hiring within the community and you're a voice that they already listen to or can hear, we want to offer you a management role of $65,000.
So this is LocoL?
This is LocoL.
Okay.
Before it even opens.
So one of the original influencers
Yes.
before.
Yes.
So, that's right.
And so they offered me a promotion before I even got started to be a manager to help manage the community that we're already in. Like I've already been managing the community. So
Look at
$65,000 because I was debating on walking away.
Right.
And so so God didn't
God
want
on
me
your
to walk
shoulder.
away.
That
He
absolutely.
like, I put something
Here
in
it
front of
is.
you.
Right.
Here you go. Right.
Right. Yeah.
And even with that, I quit LocoL 4 times. And like the chefs walked me back in, encouraged me. And encouraged me. to
Why'd you
stick
quit?
around. First time, really, like the oil refinery, I don't even credit as having my first job, right? That was in and out. This is like my first job, but it's more so like I'm not used to being held accountable, responsible. I'm used to freedom. I move how I want to move.
Yeah. That's why you're an
hustle how I wanna-
entrepreneur.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so working for somebody, it did not work.
That's right.
And then especially in this culture where no matter what goes wrong, it's like a yes chef. And then the person in front of me that's holding me accountable and I just got to bite in and say yes chef to is
Right.
white.
Right.
It just didn't work.
Right.
Let's just call
Right.
it. It just
Oh,
didn't work.
that's-
So it's like,
yeah.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But every time I walked out the back door, they met me back there. Daniel encouraged me to come back in. You know, explain the process of change, the difficulty, and like just let's get through that part. And then to make it even sweeter or even better, LocoL was expanding to Oakland. And so offered me to remove myself from my environment
In Watts.
in Watts
To go to
with all the
Oakland.
distractions and help them open a store in Oakland. And that's where everything opened up for me because I had only been outside of my community, either going to other areas throughout America,
Right.
moving drugs in communities like that, or in prison. I didn't have a chance to just go see life. And so when I got to Oakland, even though Oakland had its own problems, they didn't apply to me. And so I was able to see Oakland or life in a different way. First time I experienced Whole Foods. First time I experienced a farmer's market. I mean, I'm 34 years old.
Okay. That's, wow.
Right? And so
That's incredible.
this whole chef culture and restaurants, like from Watts, we don't have restaurants. I don't know nothing about the chef culture. I don't know where this path can take me.
Right.
This opportunity can take me. That's why I was so ready to squander it. But then when I got to Oakland and started
Eyes
to
opened.
be part of the culture,
Right.
I'm like, oh, hell, okay. And so then I started to imagine because
Where?
now I can see it.
Exactly. You
exposed to
can't
it.
be it unless you can see it.
And that's what I preach and tell people. We have to expose our people.
That's right.
Either through our lenses or
Right.
our stories or physically taken there. And I
That's
was
right.
fortunate enough to be physically taken there.
Okay, you are in Oakland.
I'm in Oakland.
Yes.
And so Oakland and San Francisco, Daniel Patterson has a restaurant empire of some sort, right? He has like 6 or 7 restaurants. While I'm here to open LocoL and train there, I found time to get in these other kitchens. And I started to learn the chef culture and the restaurant culture. And, you know, getting exposed to ingredients, cuisines, and techniques and all these things that I've never experienced before. So now my mind is starting to open and expand. And so I started to envision or imagine, wow, what could my grandmother have created, or what my community could create if we had access to this?
Right.
Like walking in Whole Foods and seeing fruits
Fresh,
and vegetables,
right.
things pre-loved.
Right.
Right? I walked in Whole Foods and dug my whole hand in that bucket and just was walking around the store eating turtles because I didn't understand the whole scoop in the back. Like, seriously. Right? I'm like...
Right.
I'm
So
like,
foreign.
so foreign.
Yeah.
And so the entrepreneur in me, the dreaming,
Yeah.
the imagining, right?
And once again, because you have to see it
Yes.
to even be it.
And so I pitched, imagine pitching to your employer, like, hey, this is all fun,
Right.
but I have an idea. Would you partner with me on this idea?
And who did you, was that Dave Patterson?
Daniel Patterson.
Okay.
We were moving furniture from one restaurant to the next in a U-Haul. And then I started talking about the concept of what my granny could have made and creating elevated soul food or California soul food and, just using these techniques and these ingredients and blah, 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 blah. And he was like, you know what? Drop a 3-year business plan. That was such a deterrent. It was like,
Right.
you could
Yeah.
just told me no.
Right.
Like, just say no. You know what I mean? But on one day, because I didn't mention, while I was working in Oakland, I used to go to work in the morning, 6 in the morning. I'll get off at about 7:20.
Yes.
I'll catch a taxi, or one of my coworkers will drive me to Oakland Airport. I will fly into Long Beach. I will get off. My kid's mother will pick me up, drop me off. I will go in there to a friend's house and cook his drugs for him all night. I will get paid. I will get on the airplane in the morning, fly back for my shift. And that was like 3 times a week. You know what I mean?
So we're talking no sleep.
No sleep. And so in this restaurant.
And risk.
On my way out, and risk.
Yes.
On my way out to the airport to leave the restaurant, Daniel's coming in. It's one of his restaurants. He's coming in and he says he wants to talk to me. I don't know about what. And so
Were you nervous? Did you think that maybe...
I'm on my way to fly out to go. You know what I mean? And so he pulls me out and he says, hey, remember that idea that you had? And I'm like, yeah. He was like, I have an opportunity in LA. You think you're ready to go back to LA? I'm like, yeah. Like, you think you want to do the concept? I'm like, yes.
So you had shared the concept,
I
just
shared the
not
idea.
not
shared the
the
idea.
just the plan. Right.
What business plan?
Right.
I just had an idea.
Right. Yes.
I'm a homeowner. I'm a property owner who has a vision of a home, but don't know how to build it.
Right. Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And so it was great because I had Daniel, who is an engineer in that area, who can now help me see the framework.
Okay.
And so
what's the opportunity in LA?
to partner up on Alta.
Oh.
Yes. And so you got to think, I came home from prison in 2016. No, I came home from prison in 2014. I got my first job in the kitchen at 2016. I opened Alta 2018.
Wow.
Yes. Entrepreneurship.
I didn't realize. Okay.
Hustling.
Yeah.
Grinding.
So
And
how
just to
long were you in-
clarify,
Yeah.
the trips that I was taking
Yeah.
did not fund Alta.
So wait a minute. How long were you in Oakland?
2 years. Well, Oakland and Watts for 2 years, back and forth.
Okay,
Because I was
so
still
it was a
managing.
common-
I was managing,
Right.
and I was managing restaurants that we opened in Oakland.
Oh.
We opened 2
Oh, my.
LocoLs in Oakland at that time.
So you literally were doing 3 jobs.
So I'm
'cause you
learning
were,
fast.
You were doing the first Loco. What do you call it?
Loco and Watts,
Loco and Watch
Loco in Oakland,
in Oakland,
downtown Oakland, Loco
and-
in West Oakland.
and doing some cooking on the side.
Yes, and doing some hustling on the side.
So that's 3.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yes. So,
Alta
but also finding time to educate myself in the other restaurants that he had that was separate from Loco.
Yeah. So you're learning.
I'm learning. Yeah. I'm down there wasting no time.
And
I'm hustling.
on the smart way, learning on someone else's dime.
That's it.
That's it, right?
Volunteering.
Okay, so we got to speed this up now. What is the opportunity of Alta? What is the proposition to come and run a
to
restaurant.
come back and partner own the restaurant.
Own a restaurant. Because consistent theme here is you are that good all the time, wherever you're given the opportunity.
I'm not that good. I'm blessed.
Well, you have talent that you could opt not to use. You go. Let me tell you what I'm saying.
I know to seize an opportunity.
Yeah,
and
but you
get
still,
in and learn.
But you still have to be good.
Yeah.
You were great at LocoL. Said, wait a minute, you can help us here. Don't downplay.
I got it, yeah.
I can see. I know what I'm saying. Okay, so they said you were that good. They gave you this other position. Wait a minute. Let's go back to the refinery.
Yes.
You start there. They want you as a driver. Forget the circumstances. You get promoted there. You go to LocoL, and then they say, wait a minute, we have something else for you. You go to David. You're running that. Then you're still obviously a good cook with the drug thing, clearly. So some would remember, and they want you doing that. And then you're so good with Patterson that he gives you this opportunity.
Yes.
So blessings are one thing, but you can't. People do in a minute. Yeah. People do this. You have this blessing that you do not utilize. We know this about people, right? Mm-hmm. You worked on that. You did the work, and the blessings continue to flow.
It did, but I'll tell you, just like a lot of our brothers and sisters who has talent coming from these inner cities, who is given a dream.
Yes.
They sit in there, your son or your daughter is a great athlete. They come in your house, they tell you this beautiful story, right? About how they're going to take care of them and what they can do and all that, and you trust them. And then your son, your daughter, whether music, sports, or whatever, get a upsided contract, right? Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times, our first isn't what it seemed to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I experienced that.
Okay, so there's a story.
Yes, there's a whole other story with how not having finances for lawyers and to look at contracts and all this stuff when you get these opportunities, how you find yourself fighting.
Right.
Yes.
So you have done a lot of the creative work, learning what's happening in the kitchen, and now you were thrown into the entrepreneurial side.
On the legal side. Yes.
On the the entrepreneur. Yeah.
Because we're like, again, entrepreneurship in my life. Right.
But now, so here's another pillar, right? So and that's what entrepreneurship is, right? And just for clarification, because I really like to encourage, we don't know everything in entrepreneurship, kind of.
We don't know nothing.
No, we do.
No.
We figure it out. We
Hold on, let me clarify that. We learn things along our way.
That's right.
Along the way, and then when you transition to something else, we don't know that a lot of the things we learn are adaptable until certain situations come up. So when you first go in it, I can honestly say you go in it understanding you don't know nothing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yes.
But another reason to have this show, because when you repeat it, there's another chef out there or someone who wants to open a restaurant, and now you sharing this information, it's now on their radar to know, be aware that this is coming the pike or such and such. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay, so legal, what happens? What are your challenges, at least?
Challenges, being a person coming from an underserved community and that's employed and getting the opportunity, you don't actually have, let's just say, forget the money.
Yeah.
You don't even have the access, the know-how, the relationships.
Sure.
You don't even know what you need to do. Someone puts opportunity in front of you. Either you're just excited about this next opportunity or you just want to get away from your circumstances, right? And so you accept them, right? It's not until afterward. You're trusting.
Yeah.
Black folks are really trusting.
Yes, we are.
We're trusting of everybody but ourselves. But that's another story.
That's another show. Yes.
But, these opportunities be put before you and it's sold in a way and you're trusting and you're excited.
Yeah.
And you take the deals. You learn over time that, damn, what did I do?
But it's all with experience.
Yes.
And here's the difference, though, for our community, which is why we talk about it more now, why mentorship is critical.
It's important
for us.
It's important.
It is, to me, my obligation, which is part of this show, I want to give the information away, because I've had the bruises and the scars. The reason for someone else to go through that, if I can just give you the answers, like, what's the point?
Yes.
Just like, so my mentors have been there, done that, successful, had failures, so I can go to them with just about anything and say,
like someone can come to me.
That's exactly.
Please come to me.
Exactly.
Please.
Exactly.
Do it.
That's why you go through it.
And that's why I tell the story, so you can know and identify, oh, he gone through exactly what I went through. How did he make it through? How did he overcome it? What decisions did he make? Maybe it's make this decision, or I made that, so don't make that decision.
Exactly.
Right? And like, I'm always at Alta. Pull up.
That's right.
Pull up. Like,
that's right.
Man, we can chop it up, and I'll give you my experiences. I'll give you my story and my experiences that help you make a more informed decision. Like, seriously.
What would you do differently, if anything, in this journey?
If you ask me what would I tell my younger self from what I learned today, and what would I advise them to do different? If the circumstances hasn't changed, if the conditions hasn't changed, I would tell my younger self to do it the same way. And yes, that means prison, that means being hurt, that means hurting people, that means I will go through everything that I went through because I'm sitting in this seat today. And what I've learned is I went through those things in order for people along that path to now be able to hear me.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
a lot
all
of time,
day.
a lot of give you advice, and the first thing you say is, "You don't know what I'm going through." Well, sorry for cussing. Well, damn it, you can't use that on me.
That's right.
I know exactly what you're going through because I've been through it.
But not only that, those experiences shaped who you are
Absolutely.
to get here. So one, without prison or without, another step,
Yep.
you may
Absolutely.
not be at Alta. Likely you would not.
No.
Right? And I think that is true for all of our journeys.
Yes.
But what I love, love, love about your story is you used your talent, but not only that, you listened to all the cues and all of the opportunities and took the leap.
Absolutely.
Because people sometimes will miss an opportunity. And entrepreneurship really is about, you've got to be able to see the opportunity.
And seize it.
And seize it. Oh my gosh, that's a whole nother thing,
Yes.
right? Because people have to get out of their heads, and you have to act. And when you act and move toward that goal, that's where all the answers come. And your entire story is that. I mean, I could draw a diagram of just what we talked today about where you could have changed the whole trajectory by saying no.
Absolutely. And like, a lot of times we get opportunity, but so for one, a lot of us has to get out of the mindset that we can do it by ourselves, right? Like, you can't get
That's
to where
right.
you want to go by yourself, right?
That's right.
And so when we're given an opportunity, a lot of times we squander it for two reasons. One, we were given an opportunity without support.
Okay.
Or two, we get the opportunity and realize we need support and don't seek it on our own.
Repeat that last one.
So a lot of times we get opportunity
Yep.
without support.
That's right.
Right? And so the opportunity is squandered. But we also, when realizing we don't have support, we don't seek the support on our own.
Which is where mentorship comes in.
Which is what mentorship is.
Which is critical.
Yes.
You cannot be a business owner without mentorship.
Absolutely.
Well, you can. It's just not the right.
You can't.
And it's why would you? Like, there is enough, you network, and I find that people that have gotten to a certain level really do enjoy and love mentoring. However, let me be very clear about what mentorship is, though, because I see this as being a problem sometimes in the community. You have got to do the work. The mentor is not the person feeding you the information, because if you don't do the work, then you don't even really know how to maximize your mentor. You're not going to be able to ask insightful questions. They're not there to give you the play-by-play. You have to do the work.
Like my boy Nipsey say, you can mentor me without even talking to me. I can see your moves and
That's
learn
right.
from it.
That is right. You have to want it.
Yes,
You have to put in the sweat equity.
absolutely.
And the answers, the universe, and God guides you. The parachutes come out of nowhere. And so I am really sad that we have to end this, but we're going to have to do a part 2.
We
Your
can do a part 2.
story is, I think I'm going to do the part 2 from your restaurant.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, yeah. So that's what we're going to do. Chef Keith Corbin from Alta Adams. Please go check it out. One of the best restaurants in LA. Do you guys have a ranking? You need to.
We just made Michelin the second time.
All right, there it is. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for joining. I am Raquel Graham. You are listening to Entrepreneuring. Keep going and keep growing, and I will see you next week.